So that's it. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Jefferson, Romeo, Ricardo. Here for one more immersion in English. We talk about the pollution today. I'm Bruna. I'm here only a host, such a host to guide this conversation, all right? I'm not a teacher. This platform is a great place, a secure place to practice any language like French, Spanish, Italian, and English. And here you develop not only you speaking, but other skills like communication. And it's very interesting here in Talk for me because it's a possibility to talk here for several subjects. So you can develop many skills. So I'm Bruna, I live in Brasilia. I'm married, I'm 41. I have two sons. I graduated in physiotherapy and I work in public service here in Brazil for government. And that's it for me. Ricardo, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Well, I'm Ricardo. I live at São Vicente, the first city of Brazil. I'm married. I have a daughter. I work on a IT company, and well, I love talking with people. I love receiving information about different aspects of our lives, different visions, different point of views. So in this case, I believe that is wonderful being here because you learn English and make friends. So that's nice. That's
So
it.
nice. Thank you, Ricardo, so much. So my friend is Jefferson. I was in Goiânia this
Yeah.
weekend for a concert, but sertanejo concert, of course, I remember this for you.
So
So
Prince, I don't like So Prince. Yeah, come on, guy.
but of course, I'm Goiânia. I remember for you. I was in Goiânia and I remember for you. So can you introduce yourselves,
I know
please?
you love So Prince, sertanejo, and funky.
Yeah.
Good morning, folks. I'm Jefferson. I live in Goiânia, Goiás. I'm economist, professor of Catholic University of Goiás. It's a pleasure to be here talk with you about pollution.
So thank you, Jefferson. And you, Romeo, can introduce yourself. Your turn.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Romero. I live in Imperatriz, the countryside Maranhão. I'm 41 years old. I work with railroad maintenance. And what else? I'm married. I have two daughters. And in my free time, I like to go camp with my family. What else? I think that's it.
So nice, Romeo. Thank you. So what type of pollution, Romeo, do you experience most in your city? I changed the question number one because the different type of pollution you watched in the video, all right? But now you possible to say what type of pollution do you experience in your city?
Um, Many situations, I think, especially the water pollution. I think in my city there's a 5 stream that cross of that court the city, and no one is the water is good, because I think this this stream, I think it's happen or working especially for, how can I say, uh orders for water pollution about the house, about the street. I think um probably in this stream, this stream don't have it a good how can I say, a good place for life or for origin life, like fishes, like other animals that live in there, that lived in there, you know. But I think it's a big problem in my city. In the future, I think is don't have a solution for change this. You know, I think it's very hard and it's so complicated to, how can I say, to change this situation. But there's others, but I think this is a big, how can I say, é que me chama mais atenção, you know.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Here in Brasilia, I understand maybe it's not too close to me, but the sound pollution, the sound, the noise pollution, and of course the air pollution. I think we have a big problem here. No, in the downtown, you have a big problem with this, like São Paulo, for example, it's dangerous for the health. About the water pollution, we have here a lake, Paranoá Lakes. It's so nice, the water, of course, but it's impossible to drink this water. It's not water potable. I don't know how to say this, but it's possible we have a fish in this lake. So it's so nice. And you, Jefferson, what type of pollution do you experience most in your city?
Air pollution in downtown. I lived for a long time in downtown. I remember the buses and the cars, all of them with a lot of pollutions. The black pollution and in my apartment, terrible in the past. Now it's better because downtown is not full of cars. Now you have a lot of cars in other part of the cities. Downtown is dying, like I think like most of the cities in the world. And the water pollution too. We have a big river here, which they try to clean the river, but not so easy. We see a lot of cities talking about this, and this river crossed 65 cities, and almost all of them with pollution. So it's not so easy. In some places of the city, we have when Bruna loves to listen sertanejo and sofrência, we have noise pollution. For me, it's terrible to listen sertanejo. For me,
I can imagine.
But I have a lot of friends that live near this part of the city with big noise and cars and so on. So it's terrible. So it's terrible. But I live in a condo. I have no problem with pollution here.
All right. And you, Ricardo, tell us.
Sorry. Well, sometimes this kind of topic is a little polemic and cause a lot of divergence between people, and sometimes there is overreaction the both sides, no? The people that is pro and cons, no? Yeah, certainly in certain portion the human could cause big changes in our environment and the causal problems. For the other hand, sometimes is a little that there's some attitudes from the people, the both sides, and it cause some problems. Because sometimes it's weird, because there are big personalities or scientists, the both sides and pro and cons, and they tell us something that sometimes I don't understand, because I'm not exactly a scientist. There are some aspects is clear, and so if you, for example, send poison on the river, certainly cause a problem. Yeah, it's a fact. So, but for other hand, sometimes the people, for example, the El Nino cause a lot of disturbs in our lives, and I'm not. Sometimes I don't understand. I don't read. I don't see the limits between this thing is caused because the the human, or it's just a flex from the nature. Sometimes I have some doubts about it. But certainly attitudes like uh, recycling or avoid send trash from on the streets, or doesn't matter, uh, is cause problems. No? So in this
Yeah,
case, I believe that's the balance is the best way to live. So that's
exactly.
it.
So nice. And for you, Ricardo, how do you think air pollution affect human health? Maybe it's possible if you live close the downtown,
Yeah.
you have a problem, the health problem, or
Yeah, the
no?
consequences are hard for particular kids and the elderly people. And the one of the aspects is the problem sometimes is because a certain, for example, young people or early adults don't understand, well, this pollution don't affect my life, but affect, really affect. Sometimes you as a young people or adult, early adults, is not affect so much like kids or elderly people, but affects. So in this case, well, doesn't matter if you the scientists told or not in this case, because it's so clear.
Mm,
Is a knowledge uh, very old. So a lot of people, or every people on our planet, know that the pollution on the air affect our health. So its case is we should pass for this aspect and start doing some things. So fortunately, I notice nowadays the governments and the companies pay much more attention in these aspects, but it's necessary uh, advance
yeah,
uh, improvements on this field. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I agree. The children and the adults, old maybe suffer more with the air pollution. No? And you, Jefferson, what do you think? Have you ever felt anything due to the air pollution or no? Or maybe you talk about the affect how the air pollution affect human health. If you have any problem with this.
Not in Goiânia, in São Paulo. I remember São Paulo, terrible situation. I remember. Not now, a long time ago. I think São Paulo, I think it's better now than in the past. But I think a lot of pollens trigger respiratory issues.
Yeah,
Like, for example, my mother, my sister, she has a lot of problem with asthma, terrible. And I remember when she lived in downtown, terrible about this she used to claim a lot about the pollution. And you see too a lot of guys talking about cardiovascular problems because I remember in downtown you have a lot of place to run and a lot of pollution run with the cars and the bus. Terrible, terrible.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of guys claim about cardiovascular problems, and I think this is not so good. And just to finish about air pollution, I remember, I think it's the same. I really don't like when I see a lot of guys smoking all the time. This is the
I
kind of
hate.
pollution. For me,
Yeah.
it's terrible, terrible.
Yeah, I suffer a lot in the this weekend because in the concert it's very common now the electric smoke, you know. Oh my God, it's hard because
Yeah.
it's the smell. It's not a problem now because the smell it's so nice. I love it to the smell, but the problem, the respiratory problem, it's so big. Then the cigarette, then the traditional cigarette. The traditional cigarette, you have the bad smell. And of course, there's the respiratory problem.
Yeah,
Cause the respiratory problem. But now the electronic cigarette, the smell is so nice. Oh, it's delicious.
it's so
But
hard
you
to
have a
understand.
hard problem.
It's so hard to understand. Sometimes you are in a public place and where there are a lot of people, and the guys continue smoking, and it doesn't matter about the other people. It's so clear. I believe that's so attitude so simple. So it's not just uh, go to another place, smoke free, and come back to the interact to other people. So, but unfortunately, I always tell about it. The same guy, the same guy that crossed the red light or smoking and be among a lot of people. If you have to talk with this guy and tell, oh, my friend, it's not
Please.
good to smoking among a lot of people. Certainly, you start a fight because it's not possible to notice to understand that this guy I was on the Xingu and I don't receive any information during my life. I'm sorry, my guy, my friend. I don't know regarding this problem smoking among a lot of people. So
Yeah.
in this case is sometimes it's hard because during the childhood this guy don't receive education or information
Maybe.
about it, and when he became an adult it's much harder to
To
create
change this
a
habit.
good actions. Good habits,
Yeah,
certainly.
exactly, Cando. And you, Romeo, what do you think about this? How do you think air pollution affect the human health? And what do you think about the cigarette?
Que the air pollution affect many people, especially with pollutions, you know. And weather I consider, but I think it's not a big when comparing like others, like I says. Imagining the fire in the wild in the forest, you know, in my in my in my in my region, uh, every year it's happened, you know, the how can I say, the fire in the forest and the how can I say fumaça in English? cover all the city. Smoke is the same?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah,
No
cover
problem.
all the
It's
city,
fine.
you know, and breathe to breathe in these situations is so hard, you know. Many people, especially English, sorry, especially children and the young and the elders, um, feel very, how can I say, very bad, you know, and how can I say, um, so crowd the hospital for help, you know. It's not good. It's hard to breathe in this time because many robbers cut the tree for soul for others others region or for others countries, you know, and they work a fire in the forest and this, how can I say, and they try to, oh my gosh, eles tentam culpar os índios, you know, because the Indians save a lot the forest, you know, but combat this problem, I think, is very hard in nowadays and in the future, you know, it's very hard to control, but it's not good because it's hard to breathe in this situation, you know.
All right.
Yeah, I think that.
So nice, Romeo. That's it. And about what simple actions can you take to reduce daily carbon emissions, in your opinion? Jefferson, you will start, maybe. The number 4. What simple actions? Maybe if you think, oh, I need to do this, or maybe the government need to do something to reduce. No, for you, the simple actions can you take to reduce?
I think we have a lot of measures. You can cut the daily carbon emissions that I think all the government of the world is doing this, especially in the meeting of G20 in Rio de Janeiro. He had discussed this about how to reduce carbon emission. And we have a lot of meetings around the world that began in Rio 92. And I think it's very important. You can minimize energy consumption too. It's very important how to use the lights and so on. You can use solar panels to reduce this. I think it's very important. What else? You can use too in public transportation. Public transportation, you can utilize a lot of measures like electrical vehicle buses. I think it's very important.
Yeah.
You can reduce by some kind of meat consumption too. You can see what kind of meat can pollute the air, what kind can pollute the air. And just to finish, I think the world is trying to support renewable energy sources. Like here in Goiás, we trying to do this, and I think it's very important. And I don't know, maybe in Piauí, but I know Rio Grande do Norte, it's very common to use wind power. I don't know about Piauí, but I have a lot of news about this wind power. And maybe near Brasilia, no? In Alto Paraíso, maybe about this, no? Maybe.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. But do you
Yeah.
have the solar panel in your house?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you use your car every day?
My car?
Yeah?
No,
No?
I don't have car yet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. What do you can use if you want to go at the in the center city center
Downtown.
downtown. Sorry.
Mhm.
What do you use? The public transport?
No, it's impossible here. It's
Yeah.
impossible where I live, yeah. I live far away from downtown. I live in a condo
All right.
and I need to take, but I only go to university and I spend 10, 11 minutes, 11 minutes.
So nice.
Yeah,
Great.
it's so nice. Yeah. No
So,
pollution, all the transport, it's okay. It's near my house.
all right. Great. Yeah, I understand that when you have I understand that it's so nice when you have a solar panel, but it's expensive, to put in your house. So it's
Yeah, it's
complicated.
so,
I understand it's so nice for the to reduce the carbon emission, but I understand it's so expensive.
yeah.
And
Unfortunately, it's too
you,
expensive. Yeah.
yeah. And you, Ricardo, what are you think about what simple actions can you take to reduce? That the number 4?
I'm sorry, I was muted. Well, there are uh, some conditions, some situations that you could implement in our lives, as for example, walking. Sometimes it's not possible to for example, don't use cars or other kind of. But for example, use public transportation. For some people, it's possible. For example, oh, I need to. Nowadays, it's a little hard. I understand. For example, I have to go to the doctor, for example, and normally the time is close, because you stop your job and have to go to the doctor, and sometimes not enough time to, for example, use public transportation or walking. But every time that is possible, that's good, because it's a good habit. So the most part of the time, I try to do, and I can go walking or using public transportation. And sometimes, for example, we don't notice, but for example, using upstairs or downstairs to go to the other levels, other floors. And sometimes I use for example, lift, or elevator, and this kind of attitude causes problems too, because um, some portion of our electricity is generated by oil. So in this case, this kind of attitude causes more reflects on our carbon emissions. So in this case, I
Right.
believe that, for example, other situations like recycle trash is another thing, because the companies have to produce more material. So in this case, uh, emit more carbon. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Great about this recycling trash. Romeo, and you, what simple actions can you take to reduce carbon emission?
Well, it's hard to explain about this, but I think uh, try to avoid use a car in many situations, especially for solving easy things, and you can try to walking. I think separate waste. I think it's a good attitude because they waste you many, so how can I say, uh, some bringing, so taking for the company. And how can I say, it's a lot of in the dumps in the how someone take the file, you know, and any others actions, but I don't know explain about this. But I think for me, I think try to avoid use the car, try to use how can I say public transportations. Yeah, I think it is. That is
Do you
it.
live do you live at home or at the house or an apartment?
In the house,
The house. And do you have a solar panel?
no,
No?
not yet, because very expensive.
Yeah?
But one day I would like to install in my house in the ceiling, you know.
Yeah. So nice. I understand it's a good action, but like you said, it's expensive, you know.
Yeah, the people used to say that the cost is around 60 energy bills, né? 60
Six?
contas de luz.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh.
it was the bills.
It's around the
All
the
right.
money that is necessary to implement is around 60 energy bills.
Yeah, very expensive. So about the other pollution, what the number 7? What are the effect of noise pollution on human health? Because, for example, the first moment when I think I don't have a problem about the noise pollution here because I understand maybe Jefferson don't have this problem too because he lives in a condo, so it's impossible to have a egg car, for example, the egg car all the time on the street, the egg 10 how do you say the bandeja, the egg is for 10 reais, for example, so cheaper, you know. But here in my bairro, how to say in the city, well, wherever, and we don't have this. It's so calm. Don't have a problem with the noise. No, with my neighborhood, we don't have a big sound, so it's relaxed here in my street.
Do
But
you live in Cruzeiro? Where do you live in Brasília?
Asa Sul.
Asa Sul. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's so nice. It's calm
I have
place.
a brother there living in Asa Sul too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so nice. The square here in Brasília is the square. No, it's planified city. So every city it's a square, many square, not street names like in the other place. So it's easier to live here. The neighborhoods don't it's different. Don't use the big sound. So it's relaxed for me. And for you, Romeo, what do you think about the noise pollution? You have a problem with your neighborhood?
No, I don't have this problem every day. I don't have, but sometimes some of my neighbors likes to listen so loud the sound. You know, yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday it's very complicated to watch the TV shows. You know, because it's very hard. The sound is so crazy. But I don't I understand because that how can I say I event in the neighborhood in the in the neighbor's house, you know, and I don't can I say I don't argue for about this, you know, because
Yeah.
it happens sometimes. It's not every time. It's sometimes, but I think uh, the most not the most the how can I say? Oh my gosh, a maior parte do tempo is very calm here, you know.
Nice. And I agree with you. In the neighborhood, you need to be a common sense, bom senso with this, no?
Yeah.
Because sometimes if it don't happen all the time, several times, so don't have problem, no? Because about the noise pollution, you have não sei how to say this, desencadear a stress, hypertension, and you have a big problem health problem with this. So thank you. And you, Jefferson, you don't have this problem, no?
Not now. I live in this country, I think 15 years. But I remember in the past when I lived in downtown, the stress about the dogs barking all the night. Come on, guys, terrible. Yeah, and I live in apartments, but I remember to see a lot of guys with dogs barking all the time. So stressed me a lot, and I had sleep disturbance. I remember it was sometimes I, oh my gosh, I need to sleep because I need to work the next day. What can I do? I think I'm going there into to 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 kill that dog, to kill the owner of the dog. Terrible, terrible. And I
Yeah.
think it's not so easy. And I think you can have problem about your hearing impairment too. Sometimes it's, can you imagine you live in a place with a noise pollution with sounds? As I said, you can see the sound, the dark, the dogs barking, but you can see about cars too. Cars. Sometimes I think it's not so easy. I think that's it.
Yes, when you live in downtown, it's so nice because all things close to you, but you have this problem, the noise pollution, and special about the neighborhood. You said about the dog bark and the other things, the advertisement on the street all the time, the advertisement, publicidade, né?
Yeah,
Na rua. So it's terrible. But it's if you want to live close the shop, the shop center, the shop mall. So yes, you have other problem, no?
yeah.
Eh,
Light pollution.
Yeah, air
Light
pollution
pollution.
too.
Yeah.
Exactly, like pollution too. And that's it. Ricardo, and your opinion about the noise pollution, do you have this problem?
Yeah, I remember I was born in Santos, and I moved to my city when I was 9 years old, and I noticed the big difference because uh, the streets that I lived is one of the most movement car. My street is one of the most não, the biggest. I don't know. Não sei como falar isso em inglês. A rua mais movimentada, a rua que chama mais. All of the bus on the public transportations passed in
Oh my
my on
gosh.
my street. Né? So it's not exactly a, a metrópole, but is well the my the street that I lived is the pass the cars for my city and the another cities on the region too. uh, and that's weird, because in front of my building is one of the biggest traffic, and the street behind of my building too. the wind to one of the directions, né? And so in this case, I notice, né? Some when I live in another city, is pass cars just a couple of times during the day, né? And
Oh my
this
gosh.
street is very, very busy.
You have
So,
a
but
lot of,
nowadays so it's so common, né? Driving cars in my on the streets that I live in. So I don't know. It doesn't disturb me yet anymore. But I believe that sometimes occurs. On 2 o'clock in the morning, the guys shouting on the streets. I don't know, drink alcohol because there are a lot of bars in my region. So it's always occurs. So, but normally I sleep deep, but my wife don't have the same behavior. So it's normal. My wife wake up and the wake up me too. So, but
mm, oh my gosh.
unfortunately, is similar to the case of the guys smoking. The people
Yeah,
don't have don't these guys don't polite persons. And if you try to explain, oh my friend, it's not possible to do things like that. So eu preciso falar em português essa pequena parte, né? Porque assim, essas pessoas que não se importam, que falam, isso é bobagem, pô, mas se eu quero me divertir, eu tô aqui e tal, eu entendo perfeitamente, né? Só que tem um detalhe, né? Elas vêm para cá, faz algazarra, e depois, lá pelas 4, 5 horas da manhã, elas voltam para casa e vão dormir tranquilamente nas casas dela até, sei lá, 1, 2 horas da manhã. Então, como eu falei, se chegar às 6 horas da manhã e o cara for fazer uma algazarra na frente da porta dela e ela não se importar, beleza, a gente
tá
pode
tudo
até
bem.
lavrar em cartório, registrar que não tem problema nenhum. Eu vou aceitar de boa, mas certeza que isso não ocorre.
Yeah, exactly. And in this moment, you have a several problem, no? Because you have the air pollution, noise pollution, maybe the light pollution. So it's complicated for your life, no? In this moment. So thank you, Ricardo.
Thank
Let's
you.
go the next question about the number 9, maybe. Romeo, have you ever participated in an environment cleanup actions? If so, what were your experience?
Sorry.
No
Yeah, I participated one time, once when I was in Egypt. I think it's the project for my school. You know, I like so much. I remember that try to clean the square. You know, the square is so many busy, or many, how can I say, used to used to full of people during the night. You know, and during the day, how can I say, the square is so dirty, you know, because many people during the night uh, don't keep the clean the space, you know. How can I say, the garden is so how can I say, many kinds, like bottles, like can in the garden, and the any other situations. I think is the program is very good for, how can I say, for create or for grow up the bad how can I say, consciência, you know. Yeah, I think it's a good program, good program. But there's others programs, but I don't remember that participating. Especially try to clean the the river, try to, how can I say, to put many trash that some people throw in the river. Yeah, I think
So nice, congratulations. I have never participated with these actions. I understand I need to do this in the future, but well, and I know that you have many programs with this, no, beach clean, tree planting, whatever, and the recycling initiative, but I have never participated. And you, Jefferson, have you ever participated something like this?
I think so. A long time ago, we have a discipline, or SPB, Moral e Cívica.
Yeah, the past we have this, yeah.
I remember when teachers and colleagues about the school, the neighborhood of the school, and we had this experiment about environmental cleanup action, and we spend, I think, 1 hour try to mitigate pollutions, collected deteriorated things like plastic and so on. And at the end of this immersion, we experience in our school to plant a lot of trees. I remember this. I think this is the only experience. I think 50 years ago, maybe.
Oh, so nice and great. And you, Ricardo, do you have this experience?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I believe that sometimes is when you think about it, I believe that it's necessary to do just your part. So in this case, we think a lot of fancy or complex solutions, and if each person do small habits or small attitudes is enough, maybe, to solve the most part of the problems, I believe. So, and the particular young people, your generation destroy our earth or something like that. Yeah, of course, a lot. But the most part of these people don't do the the simple attitudes. It's sometimes is doesn't matter the responsibles. Yeah, sometimes it's necessary to do something about it, about these guys that try to understand who is the responsible. Yeah, that's important. But the most important thing is do your part. Is sometimes is more effective, in my opinion.
All right.
That's it.
So nice. The next question for you, Ricardo. In your city, do you have a specific actions to combat the pollution? For example, here in Brasilia, it's impossible to use the no recycling plastic bag in the supermarket. So it's impossible. You need to pay and for the bag. And for example, now I use a lot the reused bag. No, in your city have these programs similar or no?
Well, there are some movements, but it just it's not so relevant, and it's not permanent. It's just a campaign or something like that.
All right.
But I would like to mention a city. Let me put on the chat, and is is Riviera de São Lourenço is one of the people used to say that is at the same city, Bertioga, but is a condomínio, né? I'm not sure how you say in English, but it's similar to a city, because the guys have their own water and the other things. This condom is received the the sign, the selo, como é que chama? I forgot the name of ISO, uh, ISO, I don't know, in the exactly. uh, in the well, I have the opportunity to know, because I work on. There is how do you say? There is a building that I work on this place because my company have how do you say, transmit the pay TV, and the other
Alright.
stuffs, and there is a building in the guy know the guys collect all kind of the trash, uh, metal, wood, plastic, and the guys collect the water, and the swish is not exactly is possible to drink, but don't have a pollution when the guy deliver the switch to the environment again. So there are a lot of habits. It's permanent. All of the days, every day, the guys collect all the trash and
Alright. It's
different
important.
and the other stuff too. The guys
Yeah.
clean the beats and the other stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Ricardo. And you, Jefferson, very fast for you. Is there a program like here for recycle bag in Goiânia?
Yeah, the garbage, the organic and non-organic garbage.
All right.
We separate.
Separate the trash. So nice.
Yeah.
And in Imperatriz, Romeo?
Yeah, I agree with Ricardo. I think in my city it's impossible to control this. But some of the stores try to sold the plastic bag, for try to, how can I say, to reduce the use.
So nice. I think it's very initiate to do this, no?
Yeah.
For the environment. So that's it, guys. Thank you too much for your moment, your time. Thank you for this exchange the idea. I think it's very important, no? And that's it. If you want, I put here the survey. If you want to suggest some subject, it's so nice because sometimes I don't have imagination enough.
I can't believe. You have all good news and good conversation. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but sometimes, oh my gosh, I don't know if he wanted to speak for emotion, for example, for politics, for economy, for example. If you want to suggest, so nice. All right. Thank you so much and have a great day for you.